West Hill United is a progressive spiritual community where how you live is more important than what you believe. West Hill United is a people, a place, an idea. We are a community living out of a progressive faith, striving to make a positive difference in our own lives, the lives of others, and the world. Join us Sundays at 10:30 a.m. or connect with us at any time.
We have been, the last few months, looking forward to this event and this time together. And we've been talking about an idea, a thing called hope. And not just hope as in wishful thinking. You know, we hope that our future is good, or we hope that we have good weather, or we hope the Blue Jays can pull it out and make it to the World Series. Anybody? I'm from Ohio. We have this thing called the Browns, and I hear they're a football team. Sometimes they show up and play. I've lost hope in them. We've been talking about the science of hope. Not that hope is, like I said, wishful thinking, but it's something that can be cultivated, that we can take action and make hope come alive. Now, there's three main ingredients in the science of hope. I did this last week. We're going to try it again. I'm going to have a pop quiz for people who have been here. The three main ingredients in the science of hope, if you can name one of them, just shout it out. Pathway thinking. All right, we got one. What's another one? Goals. And then a third one? Age. Hey, we got them all. All right. So the first thing, now you're going to see how wonderful my handwriting is. That's called sarcasm. So I'm going to write the first thing here. Number one, goals. That's the first main ingredient to cultivate hope. An example of West Hill is people in the 1940s moving here to this newer area and saying, we want to have a place where we can have intentional community together. They had that goal. The second major thing to cultivate hope, that's a decent looking too. We'll take it. Does it look like a question mark? You're not wrong. So pathway and I'm just going to put TH there for thinking. So pathway thinking, if you can see that. The first thing is goals. The second thing is pathway thinking, to develop pathway thinking. So it wasn't just that people got together and said, I wish we had a place that we could meet, connect, and belong, and talk about the things that matter. They developed a pathway. They met in people's homes to start. And I'm not sure of the exact story of how things come to be, but they thought, what if we had a place where we can meet? And this land was donated. And the picture back there of the little white church, that was quickly built. And then they grew beyond that little white church. And the pathway thinking continued. And this building was constructed. And the wings around it years later were constructed. And then years beyond that, I went to point to the people online. They're not right there. They're right there. But pathway thinking, different ways of bringing people together. So number one, goals. Number two, pathway thinking. And then number three, I got to bend down for this. So if you thought my writing was bad already, it's just going to get worse. So the third thing is agency. Agency thinking. Last week, we used the story of the little blue engine, the little train that said, I think I can, I think I can. If you are familiar with that story, basically, they wanted to deliver toys to children on the other side of a hill, on the other side of a mountain. And the train broke down, and along came this little blue train. If I'm bringing you, taking you back to a story from your youth, you're welcome with this. So this story, this little blue train, and the train looked at the cars that it needed to pull, and it said, I think I can. I've done some similar things. I know I'm just a little train, a little engine, but I think I can. And then it connected to those cars, and it started to pull, and that think I can went to, I think I can. Hey, I'm doing this. I'm making this happen. I think I can. I think I can. And it built momentum. It started going up that mountain. I think I can. I think I can. I think I can. So with West Hill, so many people throughout the years, when the pathway thinking got difficult, when there was a goal to have as loving and inclusive as a community as possible, and there's pathways to get there, and sometimes the pathways get difficult in our life. Am I right? Yeah. But there's been people along the way who said, I think we can, because it's the right thing to do. I think we can. According to the science, this is how you cultivate hope. And here's the thing that I like about this theory. Oh, I'm sure there's other elements, but these main things, if you can have goals, and not just goals, but worthwhile goals, maybe we could even call them values, aims. Like Scott said, we fail in them. Sometimes I like to call values aims because there's so many times where I'm not fully compassionate. I'm not, full of courage. But it's an aim. It's a worthwhile aim. And we fall down at different times. We don't know exactly how we're going to get there. But they say one of the greatest indicators of well-being can be people who develop grit and perseverance and who have a growth mindset. They develop pathway thinking. And you mix that in with a little belief in yourself, a little self-efficacy, some self-confidence, and hope can come alive. In this theory, it's not necessarily linear. It's not that you do 1, 2, 3, and you're done. One of the main researchers of the theory, John Hellman from the University of Oklahoma, he has this quote that I really appreciate. He says, hope begets hope. Hope begets hope. Hope creates hope. So when people that we might not have ever even met before, they have worthwhile goals and they create pathway thinking. And then they have agency that, yes, we can do this. They develop a path. And then there's people, you and I here today, we see that path. It's cyclical in nature. And we create new goals. And we say, hey, we have a new path. Maybe we can, take the path that they took. They've kind of, trailblazed the way. And maybe there might be even things that we need to do a little bit different. But we look at the path beside us that they've created, and we say, they've gone through difficult things. They have done things that are meaningful. And we can continue this journey. And we can reach people in different ways. We can be community. We can be hope. For so many different people. Hope begets hope. Hope creates hope. So once again, I look back at 75 years. I'm fortunate to have been a part of this for just 6 months. 1/150th of this whole beautiful thing. I can't write the best, but I can do some basic math on the fly, all right? Had to show that off there, I think our future is bright. Maybe I'm a little crazy in this, but maybe we're just getting started. Maybe there's 75 years and more. This morning, I hope, pun intended, that we have a greater hope together. There's a term called collective hope. It's just like it sounds. It's the hope of the collective. And sometimes they say, just having a person or two that can bring up that collective hope. And so I say thank you to the people who've come before us, who've helped given us that collective hope, that have said even when things get difficult, we can have pathways to new hope. And many of those people are you right here in this room. So I say thank you for that. Hope begets hope. Hope creates hope. What I find interesting is that West Hill has chosen their vision planning, their vision document. They call it Vision Works. And we're about ready to embark on a new Vision Works. It's done every 5 years. The last time it was done was 2021, and so the beginning of 2026. We get to look at new goals, we get to look at new pathways, and we get to have the agency because of those who've come before us. We get to have new hope. I don't know about you, but sometimes when I can think of goals, I can say, whew, here we go again. And I've said this a few times here. I like to hike. When I'm on a mountain, I don't say, I gotta climb this thing today. It's hard, it's difficult, but I say, I get to be on the mountain today. I get to experience this. Whatever might happen, even whether I make it to the top or not, there have been times where I've had to call it right in the middle and say, but just to be on the mountain, or to, I would say, figure out a new path, just to be on the mountain. I don't always know what's around the bend, but it's an exciting adventure to be a part of it, and it gives me hope.
Become a sustaining champion of West Hill United's work by committing to an automatic monthly donation. Learn more or donate now through Canada Helps.